Alright, today we're going to be covering some colored pencil techniques. So this is what we're going to wind up with. Let us start with our paper. You're going to start over at the top and you're going to write the word name. Well, not your name. Sorry. You're going to write your name, not the word name. There we go. Now we got it together. Let's start off with talking about pressure. So we have light pressure, medium, hard, and what I like to call death grip. Alright, so light pressure. So you got your colored pencil. Light pressure, if you have trouble with your pressure, hold your pencil all the way towards the back and very lightly, you can still put pressure on it, color. That gives you light pressure. Let's zoom in just a little bit more. Alright, medium pressure. Having your pencil towards the middle, that allows you to put more pressure on the lead itself. Hard pressure, getting closer and closer to that pencil lead, allows you to go even harder. Most of the time when we're going to be working between the medium and hard. Death grip, it's where you are clenching your pencil so hard and you are pressing as hard as possible onto the thing. While it does give you a really nice dark color, it can actually cause lots of pain in your hand later on, so we try to stay away from that one as much as possible. Alright, we're using our circle grid. We are going to use the 60 millimeter circle here and draw a circle. In this area, we're going to talk about smooth coloring. S-M-O-O-T-H-C-O-L-O-R-I-G. Smooth coloring. Smooth coloring is going to be one of the key ways that you are going to use to get your artwork looking nice. When you're coloring, people talk about one direction. I'm going to talk about circles. You want to color in circles. By coloring in circles, you are covering a lot of area very quickly. So going in here, and I'm kind of using medium light pressure, and I'm going to go in circles and cover my whole area. The reason we color in circles is because as we're coloring, we are getting all the different edges of our colored pencil to catch all the teeth on the paper. Bet you didn't know paper had teeth. Yep, it's called a tooth. Different textures of paper have different types of tooth. Some of them are smooth, some of them are not. Even paper that feels really smooth actually really does have a tooth. It's the fibers of the paper that are sticking up when they make it in the company. So this gives us a really even, nice coloring all over. You can still see some of my lines in there. That's okay. I can go over a little bit. But this is also one way to really build up layers. The nicer the colored pencil you have, the easier it is to build up your layers to do some other really cool things. Note, my circle is not very big. And that is smooth coloring. This is your most basic that you're going to want for all of our projects. Next, with your 60 millimeter circle, we are going to draw another one. This is one where it works really well for smaller areas, but you are taking the death grip pressure and you're tracing around the outline. Oh, I guess I should label that. My bad. I'm going to label it outline, O-U-T-L-I-N-E. And you're taking death grip and doing a nice heavy border or outline around the edges of your piece. This works really, really good if you have small areas, and it's one step up from just your basic coloring. And then again, using the circular motion, going in and coloring in a smooth area. Now, a lot of times I see people trying to color and they go really far with their marks. It actually takes a much longer time to go back in and fix that than to just start off with these smaller circles and draw it all real quick like that. If you're taking the time initially and doing a really good job, you don't have to spend a lot of time fixing your work because you've already done it. It already looks good, which is what we want to have. So we have that, and we have a nice outline. I'm going to draw right here just a real quick flower, right? give you a couple of ideas of what we have going on here. All right, so if I have one of these, I'm going to go with my hard outline. Gives us, you don't have to do this part. And then we color it in. That looks already better than just one petal done as so. All right. All right. So there we go. Now we're going to move on to a gradient. We're going to again draw another circle with your 60mm circle because, hey, we got them in the class. Let's work. If you don't have that, you can just draw any circle you want at home. It doesn't matter. Gradient. G-R-A-I-D-E-N-T. Gradient is where you're utilizing all the different pressures that we talked about before. All of these right here. I go over here and I start probably with as light as I can get. Sometimes it's not as light. But I go really light. Start going across. And as I'm working, I'm going to start adding just a little bit more pressure or moving my hand closer to the lead. This way, I'm going to start increasing my value, making things slightly darker as we're going across. It doesn't look like much now. I know that it's just like one layer. I like to get a good layer down, and then I can start building up because then I know that I can go darker. It is so much harder to take a color away than it is to add it. So again, as you can see, I moved my hand up closer to the lead of the pencil to get more pressure. And I'm going over my layers, getting all nice and blended. So right now, I'm going to go back over here again. As you can see, slowly building up those layers really does make for a really pretty thing. A nice smooth gradient. And then of course when we get over here, again, our death grip, going a little bit harder. And we get this beautiful, beautiful gradient going from one way to the other. This looks really nice also with an outline, so we're actually going to go over here and we're going to outline on our little petal. We're going to fill it in. Going to go darker down here. This gets lighter. Again, darker. And we have a beautiful gradient. So we got just smooth coloring, outline, gradient. Already it's starting to look better. All right, our next one. Another 60mm circle. And this one you're going to need a second color for. So this is where we're going to talk about blending colors. Blending colors, B-L-E-N-D-I-N-G-C-O-L-O-R-S, is a really great way to add extra depth to your stuff. I have a purple and a blue. Oops. So that'll be what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over here and again, start off with my circles. I'm not going too hard because I know that I'm going to be blending some layers together. That's really, really important for us to get this all nice and smooth. As I'm getting towards the center, I am trying to go with a little bit lighter pressure because I know that I'm going to have another color that's coming over that. Blending colors is something that you can do quickly and poorly, or you can do it medium quick and do it well. So here we are with my second color coming in on the other side. Again, still always drawing in that circular motion, getting it to blend up. Notice I'm going over my purple, and I'm still pretty light. But even at this time, it looks like I have two colors that blended really nicely together. I'm going to come back in with my purple over here, and I am going to go a little bit darker. because I like to have things about medium pressure. It helps me get things so they look nice. The colors are more vibrant. You can go with harder pressure and just continue building it up. But as you can see here, I'm going and going into that blue, getting that smooth transition. Even just doing two colors over each other will give you something nicer than just one color, even if it's gradient or something like that. So here I am, I'm going with my blue a little bit darker. As you can see, we're blending. And we get a really, really nice gradation going from one color to the next. It works beautifully. So if I look at this here, I'm going to start off here in the center with my purple. I'm going to go up. And again, remember, you don't have to do these flowers. I'm just kind of showing you what it looks like. And I'm going to come up here with my blue. And I'm going to go in to blend my colors. I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to do my outline where it's dark up here with the blue. Blend it in. I'm going to come over here with my purple outline. Already, this looks awesome. Much nicer than the other ones so far. Again, you can go back and forth a little bit to get your blend in smoother. But it gives you something that oomps your work just that much more. Alright, now we're going to talk about texture. So again, we're going to draw two more circles, so we're going to do that right now. So there's that one. Go over here and draw this one. And then if you have a ruler, or you can use the edge of your circle grid, we're going to start off with wood grain. W-O-O-D-G-R-A-I-N. You're going to need three colors for this. You're going to need a light, a medium, and a dark. So it's always important to have your colors that are similar for this one, so it works really well. I have various shades of orange. I'm going to take the edge of my stuff here, and with a pencil, very, very lightly draw some straight lines that are horizontal going across. I'm going to do 3 of them, just because I'm going to have some wood planks. So there's my 3 lines. I'm going to go over here and draw some vertical lines every other. And then for this one over here, it's going to be much further over. But it gives me a little bit, and we're doing the opposite sides. It gives me longer planks here. So, with my medium color, I'm going to come in and I'm going to add, using some fairly heavy pressure, some ovals, because these are the knots that we get when we have wood grain. It's something with how they grow. I don't know what just happened here, sorry. Okay. Right here. Okay, so I have my things. Now I'm going to come here and I'm going to go, I'm going to go and do a little circle on the inside, because that gives me my knot. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to do kind of going around it, but sometimes I'm going to skip those lines, because wood doesn't always need to have all the lines with it. Your eye will kind of input all those lines that you have going on. It'll make it look nice. Sorry for that keep popping up. I don't know why it keeps popping up. I'm trying to... All we have, like I said, we just added some lines here. So there's that. Now we're going to take our lightest color and I got to pause here. Give me just a moment. Hopefully we'll get through this. So we're taking our lightest color and we're going to do our nice smooth light layer covering everything here. Go ahead and do that again, circular motion, getting it all smoothed in. This is going to, okay, let's hopefully we got this figured out. Sorry about that. We got nice even covering going over the whole thing. Not too dark, giving it a little bit there. All right, we have this all nice and even. We're going to come in with our darkest color. And we're going to do kind of an outline around all of this. Looks like my darkest color is kind of a red. Sometimes if you go in a little bit on the edges of your wood, it'll give it a little bit more something. And yes, we are using death grip pressure. And then I'm going to come around here and I'm actually going to add some darkness around our wood knots. Just kind of going a light layer in here every once in a while, adding some dark just to give us a little bit more depth to our piece. This really does oomph your artwork up a little bit so that you have something where it looks a little bit more complete. It looks like you took the time to really focus on your work. I've done my darkest. I'm going to go back in with my medium. And again, I'm going to add around there just a little bit of more value into my piece. Just by going in here and creating some depth with what I have. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of adding some in there. Kind of going along. And then I'm going to go back over with my lightest color and give another little bit of a layer that's a little bit darker, blending over everything. This here gives me some really nice looking. So here's my darker version. Here's my lighter version. Note the darker version. It just looks just that much nicer. And we have all this really beautiful wood grain pattern that really makes your work pop. I am expecting you guys to do this amount of work because it will elevate your artwork. There we go. There's our wood grain. Okay, our last one is going to be brick. Okay, so brick. B-R-I-C-K. All right, again, we're going to take our thing here and we're going to use a pencil to draw some horizontal lines. Again, we're going to draw 3 horizontal lines, giving us a little bit of space here. One of the things with brick is it's going to be a little bit closer. Again, you're going to need 3 colors, so I have every other line that I draw. Then I'm going to go over just a little bit and draw another set of lines. Between the centers of those, I'm going to draw my other ones. So it gives me what looks like a wall of bricks. Now I'm going to start off with my darkest color, and I'm going to have it so my light is shining. So here's my sunshine. Woohoo! And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do a light coloring with my darkest right here in the corner, the left-hand bottom corner of my bricks. Note, I kind of scribble when I color things like this. This is just my own style. That's okay. You don't have to scribble. You can do, again, the circular motion, which is really nice. But we're just going in and getting all of these edges in with the dark. I'm then going to come in with my lightest, and I'm going to go with the opposite side. I want my light to be on this other side, because, you know, the opposite of it. So here's my sun shining, so this is the edge that's going to hit the light. And again, this is something where we build up layers because it looks so much nicer. And then I'm going to take my medium, and I'm going to do an overall medium, going over everything except for the light. So with my medium, I am going over my dark also. It increases the richness of the color, making it look just that much nicer. As you can see here, we're just going along. And at this point, you can still see it on my screen, but sometimes in front of you, it looks like you've just done a whole bunch of work and then just covered it up so it doesn't look like a whole lot of anything. But I promise you, once we get this here, it'll go in and we'll add more depth to it. So we have our layers there. Going to go back in with our dark, and we're going to go and cover these lines. So it's okay if we kind of round our corners off on our bricks, kind of making them a little bit uneven, so our lines don't have to be all perfect, giving us something that looks a little bit more brick-like. So it looks really nice. However you want to do it. Again, remember, we're going to be doing this for our project. It'll be awesome. You have to have a brick wall or a wood grain wall, which is actually a door. It just depends. So we have those uneven edges. I'm going to go back in here with my darker, back in those edge corners again, just to give myself the shadowing that I had before. But I'm increasing my pressure so it looks richer and nicer. Giving us all this. I am going to go in again with my lighter, coming up over here, making it look like it's nice and bright on that corner. So we have this. And then coming back in with my medium, and again, going over things to give it that nicer, deeper tone, coming up into it, so it's kind of like this gradient, making it look really beautiful and rich. Again, I kind of skip over the light areas because I don't really want to darken that area too much. But this gives me a really beautiful looking brick wall. As you can see here, of course, at any time you should have slowed this down if you needed to go slower. And we have a brick wall. That is all the techniques that we're covering today.